Okay, so welcome to my presentation. I'm Tyson. Shout out Mr. Pace Gardner. So my presentation's on gun control, and one of the most important things when talking about gun control is the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." But both sides of the gun control argument interpret the Second Amendment differently. So the side that is pro-gun considers like the Second Amendment literally, and they think that like the founding fathers like knew what was best for us, and they like knew what they were doing when they wrote the Constitution, and they thought that like the right to bear arms is like a fundamental right in our country that we need. And the side that is against guns thinks the meaning has changed, that like the Constitution is like a living, breathing document, and like the founding fathers like didn't know how like guns would change from when they were like making the Constitution to now. So they've like changed so much, and like some people even say that like this is only in like the Constitution because they had just barely fought off Great Britain, and they definitely needed guns. So one way to think about it is like pretty much just like if guns are easy to get, then that's just gonna be like bad for everyone, and like a lot of like relaxed gun laws that don't really look into anything like lead to more deaths and injuries, and it's not good for anyone. But there has been proposals like smart guns, which are guns that like require like a fingerprint or like a PIN number to be like fired first. So these are some statistics I found, and so the quote on the left pretty much just talks about how most gun-related deaths are gang-related, and like in 2008 it was 92% of gun-related deaths were gang-related, and the statistic on the right shows that like millions of guns are stolen every year, like between 2005 and 2010, an average of 232,400 guns were stolen from like people breaking into cars or homes. And this just kind of shows that like a lot of like guns like aren't obtained illegally. Like people who are criminals will just kind of find a way to get guns. It doesn't matter the regulations we have on them, they can still be stolen. This is a political cartoon that shows like what gun control will like do to like citizens in America. So it shows like the law-abiding citizen is the one who loses his guns with gun control because criminals don't care about the law, and they will always have guns. Alright, so this is
Morning, Mama. What is it? I have to go away for a while. I saw something I was not supposed to.
Hey YouTube, what you're about to watch is a new segment we call that I can...
To trust the government to protect you.
No. No, that's not true.
Because as a woman, I feel very threatened walking around at night on my own.
You should probably get a gun.
I have an app on my phone where I can set it up where one touch brings the police to my location, and it actually alerts the police that I might have a call when I click a certain button. Like if I'm feeling somewhat threatened, I click one button.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
And
Let me ask you a question. The police come. What would the police be able to do that you wouldn't?
They are able to physically, if not intimidate, then
But let's say it's
contend with
escalated.
this.
Let's say a very violent attacker, okay? You call the police. You are calling the police
Because I fear for my life.
and they would protect you.
Yes.
With?
With firearms, because they are.
Alright, so that was like a clip from a guy who's obviously like very pro-gun, and he's debating with someone in public. But pretty much just what it says is like we need guns for like self-defense, even because we can't like completely rely on the government to protect us. Like if there's a violent attacker, someone who's attacking you, you'll need to defend yourself somehow, and the police may not be able to get there in time. So my conclusion is like gun control is not completely necessary in the United States, but like some like rules and regulations like should be like are needed, like more extensive background checks and psychiatric evaluations to like look into more who is buying the gun legally. But also I think criminals will always have ways to get guns, and like the only way to defend ourselves is with guns. And I think guns are just like necessary for self-preservation, whether it be like how unlikely it is that like we have a tyrannical government, or if we need it just for self-defense. So yeah, that's it.